Okay, here I have just arrived at the place where I'll be staying at today. It's called Icho-no-Ki, and it's a guest house run by a farmer. And the female owner told me that. So this big carp streamer is what she, bought for her grandkids, and she she started doing this in this April, since that's her grandkid's birthday. But also you can also see those mini carp streamers, which look really cute actually. And she said there are more than thousands of these small ones. She said more than 10-20 years ago somebody started doing this, and many people gradually followed to do that. Then now they have these many carps swimming in the sky, even in rainy days like this. But she said, because of the aging problem, probably this will be the last year to do this, which, indeed it's sad, but I'm sure that it's not going to be that easy to do, to lift all of these and set up. So can't help but, I think this is a good, pretty thing to see, to celebrate the growth of the children. So, well, so that's my car, and she just gave me a little guide about where I'll be staying at tonight. So, passing by their houses, this is the one I'll be staying at, and I'll take my umbrella off. So she said, this is where I'll be eating dinner later, and this is where I'll be sleeping. So including 2 meals, it's going to cost me 8,500 yen. Yeah, 8,500 yen. So, it's always, including 2 meals. I think that's pretty much fair price. I think these are kind of cute. I think we call it a chanchanko. It's like clothing for fall and winter when you wear when it gets cold. And I think all of these are handcrafted, maybe. Yeah, it's pretty, right? I think I've seen that in this here as well. Hanten kurume. Oh yeah, it says it's handmade, and it's kurume. It's so it's made in Kyushu, southern part of Japan. It has like a kabuki actor's design. Interesting. Okay, this is the dinner for tonight, and this is more than I expected. So she is using a lot of like local ingredients, such as it's a meat of a boar, inoshishi, and many like vegetables that she like grow and can get around this area, like on the mountains side, along the river, right next to this place. It's a nasu eggplant and the potato, and then many like these mountain vegetables, sansai. And also this was ayu no nitsuke. She also said this is something that that people can get in this Kochi, like around this area. And also this rice has also meat of a pheasant, a type of bird, kiji. And she also said that it's produced here as well. So looks amazing. いただきます。これ食べる。ここから味がついてんのかな。 good. もうだから日本語でしか言えない。すごい歯ごたえがすごいあるけど、肉の旨味みたいなものをすごい感じるような味です。Sorry, I can't say that in English. I don't know how to say it. これ、美味しい。This is ham and what's the ham? She said, I forgot the name of this one. It's like a type of mint, I think. But it does really go with the ham. Like the flavor, like scent of that mint, spreads inside the mouth. And that comes to the nose. Okay. I think this is something really good about staying in like no kamishiku farm, like a guest house run by farmer, because they use for the dinner and for the food they basically use like what they grow and take. So that's what I was looking for actually, but this is more than I expected. It's so good. This is nass eggplant. 味付け美味しいこれ。なんだろう。I wonder what the seasoning for this one is. なんだこれ。お醤油じゃないな。聞いてみよう。すごい、量が本当にたくさん。That's a lot of stuff. Like this. 山菜。ゼンマイですね。ゼンマイなんて言うんだ。タケノコなんだっけ。バンブーサムシング。バンブー、思い出せない。I googled it yesterday. No, this yesterday, yes. バンブーシーズかな？うん。It's sweet actually. I think it's not like a artificial sweetness. It's like a natural sweetness. I didn't like it when I was a kid actually. But I think it's no problem. Once you get older, you start to like, I mean like your taste changes, right? As you get older. So I'm glad that I'm enjoying more food than I used to be. Even just this dish has a lot of stuff. Okay, こうか。すごいボリューム。なんだろうこれ。わらびかな。Do you hear the sound? おい、シャキシャキ。美味しい。あと、これかな？ She said udon. It's a type of vegetable. I don't usually see this. I think it's not sold in supermarket in big cities. It's very real vegetables, I guess. Udon. 아,これ味噌も美味しい。あ、ちょっと味噌ってなんだ？ It's a miso and also it has a なんだこれ？レモンじゃないけど smells like some kind of orange, like a citrus flavor. Good. 美味しい。これが生地のお肉ですね。Like a meat of pheasant.鶏肉とit's yeah, it does a taste of bird, but chicken. So it's なんだろう。濃い、ちょっと濃いかな。これだけjust considering the ingredients that's many kinds of ingredients she's using, I think the price is very fair, or it's worth more than I'm paying, I guess. Or let me try ayu. 塩焼きが良かったな。I kind of like I really like salt fried version of ayu, this fish. So that would have been best, but it's it's a hard choice. So I just follow it. Feel good. Good morning. So just listen to the cries of frogs and birds, whistles of birds in the morning, which is very nice. And I'm going to head to the another house where I will eat breakfast. So this is the breakfast. I think this is the egg that they can get from the torigoya, house of chickens that they are feeding. Also, what's interesting was that you have miso soup and sake, salmon, and the beans. So it looks pretty healthy. And I think what was interesting for me was this tea. Right after I had it, I felt it tasted a little different. Like the scent, I felt a scent flavor was not like something that usually I take. And then I asked her, the lady in the kitchen, and she said it's a tea. It's called bancha, which is made in this area. It's なんだろう。Yeah, it's so hard to put that into words, how different it is from the usual green tea I drink. Yeah, but it tastes different. But anyway, いただきます。ごちそうさまでした。美味しかったです。So here is the tourist information center, and then this one is also designed by Mr. Architect Kuma Kengo, who is one of the most famous architects in Japan. And Ueda-san, actually, Mrs. Ueda, yesterday told me that. So this town and Kuma-san has a good collaboration, and he has actually designed 5 major facilities in this town. For example, the one I'm seeing right now is a town, I think it's a Townhall, and also the one I just took shot was this one is a tourist information center. And then the lastly, like the library, which is probably the most famous one, was the 5th facilities designed by him. And so I was thinking that I didn't know there are so many facilities here in this town designed by Kuma Kengo-san. So here, this is a map of Yusuhara Town. And you can also rent bikes here. I don't know how much. 利用料、保証料、レンタル。Well, I don't know how much, but it doesn't say. Okay, let me take a look at the map. Too bad the weather isn't great today. If that's sunny, I think it's gonna be a great day to walk around. So I'm now in where am I? Here. Yeah, that's a town hall that I was recording. And what should I say? Yusuhara Za. I think this is something historical. And that's the library. So you have to. So this is the one that's probably famous one. And then there's also a bridge which Mrs. Ueda was visiting. So yeah, those the ones with pictures would be something that I should stop by. So according to a guidebook on the map, this is the town hall of this Yusuhara town. I like the texture and the feeling you get from this wooden exterior. I think Kuma-san's architecture he always uses wooden materials like timber, I think. Okay, which is probably like the same feature that you can see in other facilities in this town, such as library, which I haven't seen yet, but I will. So let's go. I don't know if I should go inside, but let me just check a little bit. Wow, this is the inside, and you see these. It's an ornament that people exhibit during the May, since the May 5th is the Day of Kids. I think this one is a pretty good one. It's kind of huge, and it's kids in yoroi, like Japanese samurai armor, and you also see like taiko and instrument. Yeah, I think that's the kid. Oh yeah, that's the library, I guess. This is probably like the architecture. Oh, Kengo Kuma-san. Yeah, his architecture book. So I think this, how to say, roof is also designed by him, and also inside too. So I'm done with the town hall. Then I head to the Marche, designed by Kuma-san, and later on we go and visit the library. So I think this is I think it's better to go this way. There's a main street in this town, and once you get there, you see many Japanese style housing. Let's see. So this town, the catch copy is the city above the cloud. So like you see that, the clouds are on the mountain, which gives a good atmosphere of this town, I think. And you also see that how to say, big fan. I don't know if that is producing electricity. Probably not, just you know, like a symbol of the entrance at the entrance of this town. So from after you passing that point, you get to see this street. Along this street, you see a lot of like things to see. There's a demise. That's like a, you know, how to say it, temporary shop that's saying takoyaki. It's an octopus. It's like a Japanese popular food using octopus. And there's a supermarket. It's a post office. Yarayaki tataki eats in the mountain. Delicious. Sengyo shidashi sozai. Oh, welcome. It's welcoming you. That's the backside of the town hall. Oh, nice. It's the supermarket. Tosa Dento Koge. It's a traditional craftsman factory. Teruchi Hamono. They create, don't know what they create. おー、すごい。角山神楽。大盤、荒ぶる神主、大盤。なるほど。タイを持ってますね。タイですね。タイ釣り。タイはブリームフィッシング。タイはブリームか。So this one is like Machi no Eki Yusuhara. It's also I think designed by Kuma-san, and I think that's the Marche, I guess. Yeah, and to the library you keep straight like 200 meters. So many products using coaches, local stuff. Shurask, that's a fish. Himekatsu stick, bonito stick. GBA. Shikaros. すごいね。GBA meats. So like deer and many other stuff. Ice creams. It's a ginger, I guess. Actually, I had a ginger chocolate the day before yesterday when I was in Ochi. I bought it in what it's called, Snow Peaks Station. That was, right in front of the park I camped, and that was pretty good. Oh, I totally forgot that chocolate in a place I stayed yesterday, the day before yesterday, which was Takagi Ryokan. I just had a bite of it, so like 90% of the chocolate was left in the fridge of the Takagi Ryokan. Well, they had a kid, so I gave it to them. It's a lot. So this one is also like something from Ehime, which is right above Kochi, where I'm visiting probably like next month. This decapon is also from Ehime, like the popular famous products produced in Ehime, type of orange, which is, I really love it. Actually, I had it in my hometown, and it was very sweet but also sour. It's a lot of stuff. You have also a place to eat, and on the back side there's also a guide for staying for a night, I guess. Yes, Ryoma again. 여기를 아우템보가 해. He's from a foreign country and then doing something washi. So he's creating washi. It's like a type of paper, like it literally means Japanese paper. 伝統的な土佐和紙の製法で紙作り。へー。So using no chemical ingredients, and so those papers are used for like art, like hanga, paintings, and calligraphies and interiors. Wow. 여기를 아는 템보가紙っこや大オランダ. He's from Netherlands, and he started living in Kochi in 1981 and started crafting these papers. Then he moved to Yusuhara 1992. へー、すごいね。Wow. Impressive. So done with Marche and heading to the library. Here's also mini carp streams. Here's also 민슈크, 바나나이에. As again, it's Hojo my is dancing. I kind of like, these little statues were placed not in like, how to say, taisho. So it's like asymmetrical, how can I say? So like, placing that, one on the left and one on the right, with some with distance, so that, keeps you like walking, having an enjoyment of, checking it. So entrance isn't really clear, I think. Have I passed by? Oh, that's there. Oh yeah, that's there. That's the intro. なるほど. So its exterior is black. Is I think kind of emphasized, with also like the gray, white, wooden, vertical and lines. Okay, I have arrived at the library, called Library on the Clouds, which is one of the main purposes of coming to for me to come here to this town, and we'll do a short tour of the inside. So here you take off your shoes, and as it says, please take off your shoes and enjoy the feeling of woods. The inside is like this. So all these kigumi, I don't know how to call it in English. It's like wooden joints. Here you can experience how is it like. So you can experience like. Oh, I have no idea how I can do it. Oh, so it's not using any nails, like neji. Neji なんつったっけ? Not nails. Like tetsu, metal thing that sticks to the wood to connect like the parts. But in here, those are not used at all, which is unbelievable actually. How do they do that? And then all of those, so not using metal thing, only like connected by just a composition, I guess. And so you do a little quick, not a short tour, it's a quick tour. I love how these books are organized with like layers, and I could kind of feel like the warmth of the earth on the ground. Here is like a history, like books about the history of Yusuhara Town and Kochi, and I guess that's like a character of this town. And here also you can sit, and many books and dragon. It's a mirror. Oh, it's an elevator. You can also sit here. Many chairs. And so it's a library. There's many kinds of books. Yeah, 面白い. It's about the books of art, kabuki. I saw a book about kabuki. Wow, that's going to be, you can spend really long time just by inside. Wow, so many books. Yeah. So books, like a library, you don't have to, I guess, pay as long as you are living in here, I think. Here you can, I think, touch that wood and feel the warmth of it. And here's also a bouldering area where kids can enjoy. There's I think enough chairs where parents can sit and then look after kids. But it says it's unavailable right now. Okay, right. Oh, sure. Yeah, I might see you around. It's a lady from the US, and we had a conversation before this tour. And she's doing walking no Henro pilgrimage in Shikoku. That was really interesting. And here it's a kids' room. Oh, there's many signs by people visiting here. Shibata Keiko. I don't know about many at home. Many books for kids with illustrations. Wow. There was actually also many events held in this library, and actually there's film screenings as well. Like the message, it's totally different, having totally different title. What was it? Arrival, yeah. Arrival by Denis Villeneuve, one of my favorite directors from France. No, from Canada, sorry. And there is Noyodogawa. Oh, that's an interesting list of the films which will be screened in this library. And there's also a piano concert today. There's a person from Finland. She is doing a walking holiday in a town close to this place, this city, and then she will talk about life in Japan and culture and education, which she is specialized for. So many events in the library, and there's also places you can sit and take a break. There's also many magazines. Wow, it's a lot. So this is something I should have come first, actually. Sorry, it's like盗撮展かな? なんて言うんだろう? I don't know how to read it, but it's, how do you say? This is made when they started building this place. So, like the purpose of building this library, it is to cultivate kids' learnings, and with the building that is built with the harmony with the nature of Yusuhara Town, with mountains and the air, atmosphere. So that's about it. Oh, it talks about 事業費もあるな。like how much it was spent. Construction fee was 12億900万円。全部書いてある。工期が平成28年。So it took 2 years to build. Wow. なるほど。So that's about it. And yeah, this is incredible place to, bring your kids if you have. And I've actually heard that from the lady running the farm guest house. She said nowadays there's more people moving to this town, So I can understand why. There's enough things to live, I guess. And then if I had a kid, I'm sure that I will bring kids here if I'm living here. So it's the character I saw inside the library, and it says that it's the original character made for this library. It's called Kumo-pi, and it looks like something that is floating on clouds. Nice. Okay. That's it. So after here, I will stop by the restaurant run by the lady who also runs the place I stayed yesterday. So here's a farm restaurant that is run by a lady who was also running a farm guest house where I stayed at yesterday. It's called Sabuki. And then I actually went inside at 2 o'clock, which was, supposed to be closing. But the lady of the guest house said that, I was kind of helping her arranging with the guests who are doing a Shikoku pilgrimage today, who are supposed to, stay in her guest house tonight. But, she was unable to contact with the lady who is doing the pilgrimage, because she doesn't use cell phone. So I actually coincidentally met her in a library. So I was making arrangements with that lady. So manager of the farm restaurant and then the guest house said it's okay. They said that she let me in and have me had a inaka soba, countryside soba. It was good. And actually there was if they have enough ingredients, they can cook like a set of lunch with pretty much what I had yesterday night, like a kiji gohan, takikomi gohan, and like vegetables they grow. So it was great. And then also this view of our Japanese old type of architecture. It's kayabuki yane. I looked up how to say that in English, but hard to pronounce. So, and then also like a Fujinohana, I think it's a flower. Yeah, and then this pond is very well designed, nicely suited with these houses, I think. Yeah, Shimizu-no-Ike. So nice place to visit, just to see this kind of like old style building. It's really nice. It's a minka. It says it's 昭和16年の建築, so it's about 100 years ago this one was built. And you also see here the frog cries. Okay. So I'm now staying at taking a break at the coffee shop called Khan's Hutte. It's in German, it means like Khan's daughter. And then the couple is running this nice coffee shop, and the coffee is actually great. And I got this muffin, and then this is how it looks like. And then they are using like their own, how do you say, bison? It's like roasted coffee beans. They themselves roast coffee beans, and then also using like natural water from the Shimanto River running through like Kochi Prefecture, and then also have using many good ingredients for like muffins. And so this is very nice place to take a coffee break. I was a back. Hi, そんな感じで。There's a nice park, playground for kids, and here's interesting building. Yusuhara Za. これか。So this is a very old building of play. 劇場? 小劇場? It's something that you can, I think, enter. Yeah, it's open for everyone, I guess. Wow. Yes, Yusuhara Za no Kaikenkaku. So like the history of this place. So it was built right after the war ended. So this is like kind of like a place for the entertainment for the people living in this town. It was used as a theater, playhouse, and also used as a place to take care of kids. So it was actually built in a different place, but because of changes in time, the needs for that building was changed as well. So it was once destroyed. It wasn't destroyed. So deconstruct, I guess. Yeah, decompose. So the wooden materials used was actually preserved, kept, and then reused to build same building. So it was like a move to a different place to better preserve. And then so Kuma-san, Mr. Kuma, architect Kuma, he started helping people here for preserving this household play in 1963, which is like 36 years ago. Then he also started more actively committed to preserving like historical heritages in this town. That's what it led to him being more active in developing like facilities in this town. So he is also the one who actually designed like the new national stadium in Tokyo, and this newsletter says that he is really he wants to use like wooden material for architecture. He designs, emphasizing the harmony with nature. Okay, so let me get inside. Right. So that's the stage, and here's probably like where people sit and see the stage. Whoa, wow. So there's like 2 stories, 2 floors, and yeah, people can come in, and probably more than, I guess, around, I think, 100 people. This place can accommodate, I guess. Interesting. Oh, I see a trike, French drum. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's, I think, where people who give the announcement. Yeah, from here they read. I think they read documents, I guess. なんだろうこれ読めない。忠臣蔵か。So it's like the name of the play. 忠臣蔵 is one of the most popular play that is based on the story during the Edo period. Who how to say 仇討ちってなんて言うんだ。Whose it was about a samurai whose lord was sentenced to death because of somebody else's bad behavior, and he wasn't actually, he didn't do anything bad actually, but he got sentenced to death. So, and the samurai Oishi Kuranosuke, he decides to attack the person who made his lord kill himself, and he actually kills the person. Adauchi. I don't know how to call it, explain it in English, but it's that kind of story. Okay. Okay, so I have arrived at this Kuma Kengo Kuma Museum. Kuma Kengo の小さなミュージアムね。すごいな。Kuma-san. This is Kuma-san. Mr. Kuma. New jobs. Wow. 立ち入り禁止。木橋ミュージアム。So here you can see the facilities that he has designed in this town, Yusuhara. So he has started from the hotel restaurant, Kumo-no-Ue Hotel in 1994, then went to Yusuhara Town office, then started this wooden bridge gallery, and Marche Yusuhara Hotel, and also like Town Library. 2018, so far, so 5 facilities. So he was born in 1954 in Yokohama, then graduated from Tokyo, completed master's degree in architectural design from the University of Tokyo. He visited Yusuhara for the first time in 1992. So inside the museum, there's a video when Kuma-san talks about the designing points for each architecture he has designed and built.
Some people just want to relax in the library.
Which is very nice. He speaks very good English.
So
and
for that kind of people, the space itself is a goal of their visit. And the space we designed for library is very flexible. It's basically one big space and with the unique structure system. So we bring the very unique column system, which is a mix of steel column and wooden support. And that unique columns looks like the forest. And people want to spend time in the forest, spend time under that unique column.
It's pretty nice. Wow, I've spent about an hour inside the museum watching the videos about Mr. Kuma talks about his architecture he has designed and built. So yeah, it was very interesting how he has incorporated the the essences and elements in nature into his architecture designs. He said that in 1992 was for him the first time to visit this place, and he was very much moved by the like a forest and the nature, and also the place where I was visiting, like the theater, wooden theater, where he thought, like he felt the potential of wooden materials in architecture, which completely changed his design philosophy. So he said, like, so before he even said before Yusuhara and after Yusuhara, his design philosophy has been totally different, since he realized the potential potential of like nature since back in 1992, like 1990s in Japan. So it was pretty much like the under the bubble economy when everything was like, how to say, economy was going down. So he said he had no projects in Tokyo, so he had much time to explore and travel other places. Then he was invited by an architect, well, at the time in this town. Then he visited, and then that's how he got interested in the Yusuhara Town. So I was wondering why he was so committed to creating many buildings, many architecture here in this town. But after I watched the video, I was convinced that how much how this town has impacted his design philosophy. So that's such a big influence that he got from this town. So after visiting here, he has, how to say, used more of like wooden materials, and then also like the, how to say, inspirations and ideas into his designs. For example, using like not just using wooden materials, but also like the, how to say, inspiration, like in the design elements. He was saying that he took idea from like the rice terrace that you can see in this town. So I think I saw like the floor is in like layers in the library, which kind of resembled like a rice terrace. So I think that's one of the ideas that he got from like seeing the nature in this town. And also he said he often uses like filtered sunlight, and also he tries to like adapt like the lights and the wind of nature into his architecture. So yeah, I was only thinking that his architecture feature was like pretty much about wooden material, but there was much more. So that was really interesting to know. And before I leave this town, I will just take a record of this bridge, and then go into the, what's that, Tsuno Town, next to close to this place, Yusuhara. So after seeing the 4-5 facilities that he designed, what I thought was great is that even though he's been using same wooden materials, but like the every facility shows different faces, like colors and the patterns, and then like design itself is different. And then this one design point he was explaining was like, he here using like the wooden, tries to emphasize the beauty of aging of wooden material. So here it's now the color is gray, but as time goes by it faded, it's probably faded more, and then the color changes with time. So he sees there's a beauty of it. So that's, I think it's pretty cool idea, I thought. So after driving about an hour, I came to Tsuno City. Here is the place I will be staying at tonight, Matsuyama Ryokan. Okay, so here is the short tour of Ryokan inside. And it's the second floor where I have a room for tonight. It's very neat. Aisle, you pass by, then you see a room of me sleeping tonight here. That's the futon, and also they gave me this yukata that you can wear after taking a bath. Yep. Nice room, huh? It has a Pioneer's audio equipment and a TV. And what else? What is this? It's a mic. I don't know if that is for karaoke thing. It's song list. Yeah, it does look like a karaoke. Wow, on the stage. すごい。Many songs from old days. Well, probably like it has also ずるい女, which is like 2000 年代 2000 some year, but it's probably like more than 10 years ago. Wow, song list on stage. I just took a bath in this Matsuyama Ryokan, and then what's cool about here is that the bath is silver metallic, and I know it's I don't know if it's metallic, but the color, I thought it's kind of cool. Yeah. Nice bath. So I'm going to have a dinner after now. So I just got an idea of experimenting putting this stuff like paper on the car. By the way, I just took a bath, and then there was a yukata, and so prepared. So I thought it's nice to try it out. And so I am eventually going to, I don't know which form or like material I will be using, but I will put something here about my account, IG, and also YouTube later on. I haven't just prepared yet. I will do it sometime at some point. But I will just, for now, when I was parking, I will just put this saying that I'm exploring Japan, and for now I have only like IG set up content, so I will put that down here. So to see if anyone will follow my account or not. Yep.